Aloha, this is ITS227, and in this video, I'm going to go over lab 7.16. So let me share my screen. Share screen number one. All right. Okay, so here we are. And so let's go through this. The lab is to implement a to-do list in JavaScript. The user can type a task and click X to delete the task. Okay. First, step one, inspect the project. So look, there's HTML, there's CSS, and there's JavaScript. And so if we go down here, you should, it's going to start looking like maybe like this. And you click over here and you can see, open up these other things. This one, there's the CSS to do the to-dos where we put all our code. If we look in this HTML, we see that there's already a to-do list box and everything. What happens if we run it? Ah, to-do list. Okay, so what's next? CSS and to-do.js contains four functions that need implementing. Okay, so first of all, add new task. Add a new task. To add a new task, make the following modifications. In DOM loaded, put that in there as the add buttons click event handler. Okay, so let's do that. DOM loaded. Okay, so in here, let's put um, first we're gonna I can type it. Okay, good. Register the click event handler. And so I'm going to start by the add button. Add button. This is the ID for the add button. Add button. So let's do. Let's add the click event handle document dot query select, and then we do a quote hashtag add button btn close quote close parentheses dot add event listener. These tabs are nice, and it's going to happen on a click of the event handler. Let me move this over just a little bit. Is it's going to be this thing here. Can't copy that. Oh well. Add button, there it is. And that's how we don't put the parentheses. So that does that. We have to put a semicolon, and then after that we're gonna is that all we have to do? Yeah, I think that's all we have to do. Extract the and add button. Oh, and in here we extract the text, enter it in the text box, and then call the add task method. So let's add that. Let's add to this. Add button click. That's this one. Can I? Maybe if I go like this. There we go. Okay, add button click. I'm going to add. First, I'm going to add a constant. New task text box equals document dot query selector parentheses, and it's going to be the new task checkbox text box, And I'm going to confirm that by looking over here and seeing that this input is called new task. Okay, that's this. And then I'm going to add another constant, task text, and that's going to equal a new task text box value. And then we're going to trim that to get rid of the spaces in case they put a space in the beginning, at the end, or whatever. Trim. Just that works. Okay, so that's going to trim it. And then I got to check to see, I don't want to, if it's empty, in other words, if the person just put a bunch of spaces and then didn't put any text, got to check for that. If task text dot length is not equal to 0, if that's the case, then we're good. And let's see what we do. We're going to add the task, call add task with the task text. Add that in there. And do we do that clear? Let me see what, okay, so I got that in there. And what else does it say for me to do up here? And so we're going to call the, now we got to go down to add task. So go down to add task and we're going to do call document create LA, create an LI element, set that, call the query selector to find this, and then append it. Okay, so let's go to add task. Here we go. And so first we're going to create a new LI for the list. Let's do that first. And so constant new list item, it's called that. That's a nice name. Equals document dot create element. And we're going to create an LI element. List element. Close quote, close parentheses. And then we're going to say what we want the whole list element to look like, HTML and all. New list item dot inner HTML equals span. I'm going to use, can I use single quotes? I think I'm going to use single quotes. Span class, oops, I got to put it. Span class equals task text. Close, no, I'll close, double quote, close tag, and then this is how we get that there, that notation, and then close the span. This is this up there. This is the same as this. Close the span. And then we got to add a button on the end of that. I'm going to, I'll just do this button class. This is going to add that X at the end equals done button. No, double quote. So I don't equals double quote done button. Close the quote, close the tag, And this is what the X character looks like. They use this. They must tell you that. Ampersand hashtag 10006 semicolon. That's going to be the character. And then we add a closing button tag. All right. And then we got to close the single quote. Got to close this single quote. And then we have to put a semicolon after that. Now, this class task text should be the same as task text. This is that. 200 pixels wide, that's okay. And then this other one is done button. That's just going to be like an X. This one, done button. It's going to be, it's white. I guess we're going to put, well, we do put an X in there. That's this. The X is this character, which this is that right there. Oh, here we go. That tells us exactly what we need to do. This whole thing. I could have copied it. This whole thing gets copied down there. Okay. That's this line I just finished. And then after that, we need to append the new list element to the, so I'm going to do, first I have to get the list itself, constant list equals document dot query selector, the OL, the single OL element. I think I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to change this when we do the WordPress project because there's more than one OL element in WordPress, but I'll leave that for 2 videos from now. Okay, which I'm gonna make. I'm gonna try to make all 3 videos today. So we identify the list element. If that didn't make any sense to you, don't worry. And then here's how we append that list element. We go list append child, the new list element, the new list item. That's how we append it. And that would be this thing here. Um, and then do we need to add the event handler for the button click element? Do we do that now? Let's see. We did that, and we append the child to the DOM model with the new list element to append the list order. Okay, okay, so we're done. When the above modifications are implemented, the user should be able to type in a new task, click add, and see the new task in the list below. Each additional task added should appear at the end of the list. Clicking the X button in each task should not do anything. That's because we haven't added the event handler for that yet. But this should work apparently. So let's try to run it. Run. Ah, there we go. Are we running? Yes, we're running. Hello? Ah, there we go. Mm. Okay, so something's not right. And we are, I think maybe I'm noticing that I might be we gotta use these back quotes here. That might make a difference. That's, that should automatically be saved. There we go. Task number 2. Okay, so that's working, but the X's don't work. Okay, so the error here that I noticed that I entered is these have to be back quotes, and that's different than single quotes, so that executes. That's gonna execute what this is, which is gonna replace this with whatever came in here. All right, so you got that. Okay, so great. So that part works. We got part one. We got add a new task. Next is improve task entering. So you can make three improvements: clearing the newly added task from the text box automatically, putting the focus back on the text box after clicking add, and allowing the user to hit enter instead of clicking the add button. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is down here, when we put in a new task, we have to click we can't hit enter. It'd be nice to hit enter. We can click add, it adds it, but this stays. It'd be nice if this were deleted so that we're ready to add another task. So that's what we're going to do now. And to do that, we are going to do the following modifications. In DOM loaded, we're going to add the key up event handler for the text box, which means when it's going to check to see if the enter key was clicked. Let's do that. And then the key up event handler is going to call the click button so that if it's enter, it's going to look at every time you hit a key, it's going to look at that key after the user has lifted their finger off the key, and it's going to check to see if it's an enter. If it is, it's going to simulate the add button click. And then after we do add button, we're going to clear the property's text value by assigning an empty string after the call. And then we're going to put the focus back on the text box. So let's throw that in there. All right, so in here, in the DOM loaded thing, we're going to add register the text boxes key up event handler. And to do that, we're going to go define a constant text box. We're going to text box. What am I doing here? It's not right. Is equal to document query selector, this thing again. Close the double quote, close the parentheses, and so that now we can address that. Text box, add event handler, event listener. When there's a key up, so a single word there, and the function to execute is define the function here. Do that in JavaScript. Event, that's a variable, and there we will, if the event key is equal to enter, if that's the case, then we want to execute the add button click method. There we do put the double print, open and close parentheses, semicolon, and that's it. The close is there already. The close curly brace is there already. This close curly brace is there already, and so is the close parentheses. All right, and then I guess we should probably put a statement terminator. All right, so that does that makes it so when we press enter, we enter in a task. What else are we supposed to do here? Did that. Oh, clear the. Okay, in add button click, which is here. Let me go to here. Let me go to add button click. There we go. We've done that. And then after we've added the task, then we want to blank it out. So new task text box value equals blank, just like that. And we're going to put the focus back on it. So new task text box dot focus. There we go. And we've closed the print. Okay, there we go. Is that all we need to do for this one? Let me see. Focus. When the above modifications are implemented, the user should be able to quickly type tasks and press enter without having to do anything manually. When a user does that, automatically puts okay, so let's try it. Let's run this. And we have down here, we have a task number 1, and I can press the enter key. Doesn't work. Okay. So I forgot to add something. Okay, this one here, we're adding the add event list handler. Add the event listener to not text, but to text box. So I should have done this. And let's make this a three equal quote to make it exactly. All right. Now let's run this. And we should be able to task 1 and press the enter key. There it is. Clears this out. Task 2. Press the enter key, and that looks like that works. All right, very good. So we've gotten finished with step 3. Step 4, prevent empty tasks. User can hit the enter key without typing a task, but that task should not be added to the list of the if statement. I bet I added that already. Did I add that already? Yes, I did. Got ahead of myself here. Doesn't look like I needed to add. Yeah, it doesn't look like I needed to add the if statement. Okay, so I've done that already, haven't I? Add an if statement in the add button. Click to prevent calling add task with an empty string. Okay, I did that earlier. That's this here. Okay, got ahead of myself. All right, what's the remove tasks? Okay, so now when the user clicks the X button next to each task, the task should be removed from the list. Make the following modifications. In add task, after the existing code appends the new item, search the DOM for all buttons that use the done button class and register, and we have to register this click event handler, register the last done buttons click event handler. All the other ones have been handlers have already been added because we start at the top. And then in remove task, we're going to use the parent node property to assign a variable to the target node's parent node, and then we're going to delete the child of the parent node, and that'll remove the element. So let's add this part. So in add task, see where we are. In add task, after we have appended that, we gotta find what's my place? Find uh, find the new done button, X button, and that is find a list of done buttons is equal to document dot query selector all look at all of them. Done button, all of them of that class, which is why we use a period instead of a hashtag. And so we got that list, and then we're gonna find the last one in the list. This is the one we're interested in. Equals list done buttons. The last one, which is list done buttons. Dot length -1. The one that's the last one. Okay. This is going to be the number of tasks in the list already. This is going to equal, this is the index of the last one, of course, is the length -1. So that's what that is. And then after that, we got to add the click handler for that last done button. This is for when they click the X button. So that's we have to add a click event handler for every X button. So let's constant done button with add click event handler, add click handler for done button. And that's going to be done button dot add event listener. And it's going to be, we're looking for a click and remove task. When we get that, we're going to remove the task. When there's a click, we're going to invoke remove task. Okay, so that's that. We have to add the remove task method now. This is a little bit more complicated. First, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to remove the li element associated with the done button that was clicked. And so we're going to let's declare a variable to be able to access that. This button equals event target. So that's sort of a built-in thing there. This is event, this is event. And we're going to define another variable. This list item is equal to this button's parent node. And then we're going to say this list item, the one we just declared up above, parent node, the parent node of that list item, remove the child of the parent node, which is going to be removing itself. Remove child of this list item. Okay. I think that's all we have to do. That might be all we have to do. Let's run it and see. Run. And we go, there's a buggy boo in it. Okay. Let's see what I missed. Okay, turns out there's nothing wrong. We need to raise this up. And there we are. And now we should be able to run it. So let's run it. And we get task 1. We hit the enter key, that works. Task 2. We get the add button, that works. If we click the X next to task 1 and task 1 disappears, we just have task 2. We click the X next to task 2 and that disappears. So I'm going to let you submit that for grading. If there's any little bugs, you can work those out. So anyway, so this takes care of 7.16, and hope this helps. Thanks for watching.